Welcome back to Sonic 06. So, guess what? We still have one more side mission to do with Silver before we go to Kingdom Valley.
Not counting his own set of trials.
Basically, I'm jump cutting back to after I finished the Silver campaign, because once again, just like with Sonic, there's a mission that you can only do after finishing the campaign. I don't know why it just is like that.
Only here's the weird thing. This one's not even in Kingdom Valley like Sonic's. No, this one... Oh, actually, believe it or not,
I started in Kingdom Valley because I wanted to show the path you have to take to get there.
Believe it or not, guys, I do believe we're about to get the quest that actually brings a close to the Rimlight arc.
Exactly. Oh. Very good,
because
Jova.
Guess what, guys? We're going to talk to the actual head of the company.
All right.
That's right. Finally, the conclusion of the thrilling Rimlight Corporation subplot.
Can you feel the excitement?
And it's this guy.
Go ahead,
oh, hi, I'm Alan. No, wait, I voiced this guy, remember?
Sure.
Whatever, go ahead.
I'm in charge of the transportation division.
Oh, nice.
Well, you're doing
I've got a problem right now. Oh, you want to know what it is?
Sure, go ahead.
I know it's none of your business, but some things we were transporting have suddenly disappeared for some reason, and we're looking for some hopeless RPG hero sap to help us out.
Dude, we know what you actually deal with.
There's talk that a monster took it all, but that's not realistic. Even though that's kind of where the source of most of our energy comes from. Management doesn't know what to do either.
And also because there's a talking silver hedgehog with marijuana hair standing right in front of you.
If you can solve this, our company will reward you big time.
And by big time, I mean just give you 1,000 rings.
I was going to say 100.
So, Pedro, it's like
not that cheap, Fury.
It's like that sub-quest with the lighthouses in Ultima 9.
So basically, guys, some monsters apparently stole from a truck Rimlight stuff. I think there's a secret hidden in this warehouse district. Good luck.
Yeah, spoilers, there's nothing of the sort, so I have no idea why they threw that line in there.
It's a mystery, and you have to solve it.
Sure.
It's a puzzle.
So basically, Tio, we're in pursuit of some monsters that supposedly stole their company property.
Oh, totally.
So we have to find out why some of the goods have been missing. And how do we do that? Apparently that translates to
beat all the mooks.
Monsters.
But wait, if it's set after the campaign, shouldn't have... whatever.
Don't bother to...
Tio. That's a plot hole in and of itself that we'll be addressing by the end of Silver's campaign.
No, it will probably...
How are Iblis creatures getting here?
No idea.
We just talked about that too. It makes no sense. Anyway.
I mean, okay, regardless of how Silver's campaign ends, we're still asking the question why they're here in the first place.
Again,
like, maybe
they share the same appearance with the Mephides creatures outside of Color, so why don't you just use those?
I mean, maybe if they said that, Mephiles has been messing with time and he's bringing Iblis goons to help him, maybe? Of course, then again, that would beg the question why Mephiles doesn't just merge back with Iblis, but I digress. Oh, look, there's a Mephiles goon.
Besides, Jova, this is a story where it uses the time travel logic of changes happen instantly, so yeah.
Like, I know that the heroes are supposed to have a rough time, but when you make the villains this overpowered to the point where they have constant chances that the only way you can have the heroes win is by having the villains be idiots, you have an issue. That's not to say that the villain ball is not going to be a thing even in smart plots, but the thing is, it needs to be something that's earned and not just thrown out willy-nilly. Like, even a lot of older flicks tried to actually earn the villain ball.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the mission is to kill all the monsters.
So how exactly does this solve a mystery? We're not even interrogating them, we're just killing them.
Hey everybody, it looks like Jova solved the mystery of the warehouse. Did you catch it too, Teo? Here are the important points.
Jova's telepathic. No. Silver telepathically asks them.
Also, Jova.
Where is the Iblis trigger?
He doesn't have that power. He can only do psychokinesis.
Remember, Jova. Apparently, for this case, Silver is judge, jury, and executioner.
Yeah.
Except he's not even interrogating them.
Killing enemies with Silver is boring.
It's like Judge Dredd. Seriously.
I mean, at least
Yeah,
Judge
that's what I
Dredd has the excuse that, they're in a crapsack
Holy
world, and most of the people he goes after are
I got this
actually,
mixed up.
bad. And, I think even Judge Dredd calmed down on the killing when it came to solving a mystery.
I knew you'd say that.
Code 6531. Sabotaging city property. How do you plead?
20 years.
20 years.
Jesus.
Never changed Sylvester Stallone.
It's a shame that the new movie did not manage to get the, the crowd that he was asking for.
Well, remember they're apparently making a
Whoa.
TV show. About
Well,
Judge
yeah,
Dredd.
but it was supposed to be a new full movie. They just reconverted it. So
Yeah, apparently Carl Urban said he'd be willing to appear in it.
we'll see. Again, Judge Dredd in general is a franchise that I did not have that much interest in. Even though the premise may have some potential, otherwise it was just a thing.
Oh my god, this mission
Yeah,
is
this is
still
still
going.
It's weird. It looked like you didn't manage to kill that worm, though later you got the core, as if
Not
he
just that,
died off
it's
screen.
almost look as if enemies respawn in the same areas periodically.
I know, right? This is so confusing. Ugh. This
Wouldn't
Silver.
it make more sense,
It's Silver's final side mission, and it sure feels like it because it
Although,
takes so.
wouldn't it have more sense if the things who try to steal from Rimlight would actually be Eggman's robots? Because
Yeah,
Eggman
you're
may
right.
want to be
Does Silver
interested-
have a spear attack?
Because if Eggman would be interested in harnessing technology.
Finally, jeez.
That's actually a good point. Why don't they have it be Eggman's moves?
Because
that are
they're
stealing
dumb,
the stuff
Jova.
on Rimlight? Wait. Did you just speak Japanese? Thank you. That really was a monster. Thank you for your help.
That's
Just
okay.
yatta. Management is delighted. There is a reward from our company. Please take it.
I guess they forgot to change that voice clip.
Mhm.
It's like and now he stopped cheering. How rude.
He looks a bit like...
He's admiring Silver's floaty pose.
Jesus.
That took too long. Well said, Silver.
Yeah.
There you go. My reward is only 200 rings.
You will be rewarded handsomely from the Rimlight Company. There
Here, 200
you go.
rings. But there's 200 rings. The ad said 1,000.
What ad?
Yeah.
The ad you just showed me earlier.
I didn't show you any ad. You must be as high
I
as...
lost the part where-
But there's one in your
Go ahead,
pocket
Tim.
right now.
Go ahead, too.
Oh, I forgot the voice modulator. Sonic has completed the trials and headed to the old castle in Persona.
He looks like old man Xehanort.
Looks like
without the
Cranky
beard.
Kong without the beard. Silver, if you wish to pursue Eggman, you too must complete your own trial.
No!
Head to the forest from his gate.
Oh.
Yeah, sure. Why
Also,
not?
what is that girl doing in the background?
Masturbating.
Also, Blaze, you wanna do something?
Joe, but this is not. Joe, but this is not Code Geass Season 1. Come on.
Also, Jova, are you trying to tell me that my country is full of people that masturbate in the daylight?
I didn't think that
I can
Soliana
assure
was
you-
in Italy.
I can assure you, Jova, we are a strange kind, but we're not.
Can we get back to the game?
Yeah.
Yes,
Word.
please.
Tia, we've established that Soliana is a place where humans have no problems kissing dead rodents. I think masturbating is the least of their crimes.
Yeah, I'm with
Actually,
you.
masturbating is not even a
Let's
crime.
get
Just
back to the
do
game.
it in private.
All right,
Anyway.
then. So where now? Oh
How
god, we need to
could
do the entire of the hub. Oh.
Yes.
Some call it nitpicking. I call it just making fun of a stupid animation error.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Silver's campaign right here. Trying to walk through this overly huge hub world with nothing in it.
It's like going to the Colossus instead of a Colossus without using aggro.
Yeah. In Shadow of the Colossus, you have a horse to get you there quick.
At least in Shadow of the Colossus, well, you have this beautiful landscape to see.
Wasn't Last Guardian introduced around this time?
Actually, no, Dwebs.
2008.
Last Guardian was announced in 2009.
Oh, okay. With the three pillars under a light, all the way to a castle, shall they open, blah blah.
Bull, so this time apparently the pillars have to be a light
All
instead
right,
of
first
just
trial.
eagles showing up.
Go ahead, Dwebs.
The first trial is the trial of friendship.
Oh, great.
Silver is down there.
Are you ready? We'll begin the first trial.
Whatever you say, Ringo Starr.
Jova,
That sounds like the voice you're going for.
I wasn't even trying to sound like Ringo Starr. Besides, that's an American accent I was going for.
So-
Ringo Starr's from Liverpool. Jova, Ringo Starr's from Liverpool.
Yeah,
So
that's
Dweebs,
what you
you're-
sounded like.
You're telling me
That
that
was
now
not a
you're...
Liverpudlian accent.
So Dweebs, now you're telling me that you're gonna do terrible paintings and expose them online.
And do the narration for Thomas the Tank Engine.
I didn't know you had a DeviantArt account, Bruce.
Anyway,
well,
but
Basically, the test of friendship is that Blaze was captured somehow, so beat all the mooks.
Bullshit.
How
It
did
should be
Blaze
the
do
other
Like,
way around.
pretend to be captured or something.
Did Blaze fall asleep during the loading screens and got kidnapped?
She was catnapping.
you know, guys, I'm starting to
Yeah.
wonder if maybe Blaze is just Silver's imaginary friend in this game. Like, let's be quite honest. She's never been regarded by anyone but Silver in this game.
Yeah, she
That's
doesn't
why
get
never
interactions
regards
with
her.
the other characters.
Sonic, of all people, never regards her.
Not even
Remember,
Matthew
Jeff,
is
it's
actually
supposed to be a
interacting.
reboot, so Sonic doesn't know any.
Don't you see, this is secretly a deep exploration of
Silver Psyche.
Silver's psyche.
yeah.
Actually, that will make a lot more sense.
The
It's
story is
just a
actually
shame-
genius. We just don't understand it.
It's just a shame that the writers were clearly not enough, clever to
Oh yeah, and Blaze is stuck in that.
cube.
You know, wouldn't this have been more fitting for a test of strength in Sonic's case?
That's just,
what time
that's just
you're
a thing.
at, dude?
That's just a thing, Jova. Like that's something.
Yeah, it's like I said earlier. Remember how some of the tests in Sonic's playthrough had really stupid names like the test of intelligence was based off
Sorry,
of a
Joe,
test
sorry.
of luck.
Did a boxer just materialized onto that worm?
Yes.
It did.
Yes.
It really spawned on it. Oh jeez. Continue, sorry.
It's just a thing, Jova. And I'm starting. You actually just give me an idea. That's probably what would be like if Hina was writing Silver's story. Like, you would probably make it so that Blaze was just an hallucination all along, and Silver at the end tragically finds out that he's been alone all this time.
So it turns out that Soliano was growing some secret bout of weed that made him high,
Probably.
made from his own quills.
Wow.
Well, considering his head is a marijuana, sure.
Silver,
That would be the
thank
darkest.
you.
That'd be
And
the
then they
darkest
kissed.
thing. Be the darkest thing. Yeah, it looks like they're about to kiss there.
The test of friendship.
Dweebs,
Yes.
Power of
What time
friendship,
you're at,
everybody.
Sorry. What was that to you?
what time you're at?
12:51.
Yeah, we're like 4 seconds ahead of you.
Okay, I shall go to 13:06.
Don't worry, you're not missing anything.
And cut.
30.
Okay.
So what rank you are?
B.
Bah, not. Bah.
Whatever, I'm so done. I'm just gonna move on. I don't like playing as Silver, I just wanna move the fuck on.
Stop Dr. Eggman's plans,
Then
which
stop
translates
stopping
into
to do
going
that.
through the 3 different trials.
Shiro, it's a bit too late for that. I've already done all of them.
Soliana City
Also,
cannot
Shiro,
seem
you
to actually get a productive thought going through their heads.
Also, Shiro, the future of the Rimlight company
The
depends.
second goal is trial of memory.
Not to mention Shiroi, it wouldn't be a proper commentary for us to.
Gauge your determination. What?
Not to mention
Yeah.
Shiroi, the side missions are too often ignored because they have their own brand of bullshit, and that needs to be dissected as well.
So the trial of memory involves testing your determination.
Okay.
Oh,
This.
and I'm the one who makes everything about that game. Okay,
Oh.
fine.
Okay. Just gonna say this right now. This is what Sonic's Portal trial should have been like, because that Portal trial is pretty much about memorization.
Yeah.
This one is the one that actually should have been about intelligence, because here he's actually asking you questions to test your knowledge of stuff. Now, okay, yes, I guess you could argue that this is memory, but again, it would not have hurt if you just swapped the names between this and Sonic's trial. It's the little things that just continue to matter. Oh, by the way, how do you answer these questions? You just go for a portal.
There's a big problem with it, though.
First question: what comes to mind with the words future, inferno, and ruined city?
Crisis City.
By the way,
Lisa.
If
there.
you think mission, go right. If you think escape, go left.
Okay,
Follow
so
me.
mission, right. Okay, here's the problem, Jova. two problems actually. If you want to S rank this mission, you don't even afford to read the questions. Just memorize the questions and the answers, and just go straight through every portal as fast as you can to get the S rank. Because
Next question.
Wow,
What
I
comes to
guess it
mind
really
when
is a
playing
test of memory then when you put it like
Theo
that. Hardy har
from 10
har.
years ago. For Princess Elise, go right. For Blaze, go
well,
left.
yeah, that's Princess Elise, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And now I hate this question because the answers in this final question are so misleading, as you're about to see. Hold on, you'll see.
Okay.
So let's see what the question is.
Last question. What comes to mind with the words blue hedgehog? For hatred, go right. For teamwork, go
So
left.
considering at this point he's already figured out that Sonic is not the Abyss Trigger, I'm guessing teamwork, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're gonna show them the superpower
let's-
of teamwork.
And let me guess, you fall into lava if you get it wrong.
Nah, you just fail. And have to sit through this again.
I have seen into your heart.
You suck.
You may have banished all doubt from your mind.
Right?
However, looking back on the past maybe was calm the wavering of your heart.
Why?
You're wrong, so fuck off! Keep your heart and mind strong as you proceed to the next battle.
Yeah, that's just the thing, though.
There we go, just fine.
The problem is that remember, technically we haven't teamed up with Sonic yet. Again, Teo, like I told you, the only way to S rank this mission is to literally go through every portal as fast as you can without even bothering to look at the questions.
No, it's appropriate. The D is clearly for determination.
Precisely.
See, the reason I got confused off screen, because I didn't show my failing this mission, Joe, is because, again, technically we haven't teamed up with Sonic yet, so...
Oh, I always figured Sonic because that's how Sonic's whole thing. Like, he literally has a line saying, we'll show them the superpower teamwork.
Take that, you
And
dipshit.
Silver
This is
has
the
no
final
reason
trial.
to have
I
hatred
get
for him.
what
This is
Pedro
the
means,
trial.
in the sense that the question itself is a bit too meta outside of the world's context.
Not only that, but when it comes to hatred, Silver's never really actually had a hatred for Sonic. If anything, he's
He
just
tried to
considered-
kill him!
Well, sure, he was doing that out of necessity.
Surprisingly enough, Shiro, that doesn't necessarily
This is your
work.
third test.
Yeah.
The test of hearts.
Oh, goody, the test of
This is
heart.
about battling the fears deep inside you. You need to battle the enemy without using any objects.
Okay,
So,
guys, what do we do
you
for
can't-
our character who usually relies on projectiles? Make a mission where you cannot use projectiles. Have fun.
Let me guess.
This
If,
is
if,
the test
No.
of
if you
art.
pick up a projectile, you fail the. Oh no.
Yeah, you failed the mission if you use a
Destroy all
projectile.
enemies without any objects to use psychokinesis.
Basically, what you have to do is make sure use of the shockwave that you bought at the store, so you can then psychokinesis them into nothingness, basically.
Which means that you can actually use the enemies as projectiles still. Okay.
So that means we can use projectiles.
Well, when they but technically,
Details.
Dwebs, the exact word he used was objects, not projectiles. That's
we-
just
why
Jova
can't we
saying
use-
it.
Why can't we use? What about using the rings as projectiles?
Again, Dwebs. He specifically said don't use objects. The enemies don't count as objects.
But these are objects. We look.
Maybe they have souls in them?
Oh, and look at that, Jova. I just used the missile on that enemy, and the mission is still fine.
Yep.
So apparently, the programmers forgot what they were actually supposed to be programming.
I guess maybe the missiles have souls inside of them too, so they're not considered objects?
Jova, that's some major stretching, even by your standards.
Part of the
Did you see?
course.
Eggman has a soul, therefore his robots have souls.
Implying Eggman has a soul.
Well, of course
he
he has a
does.
soul.
Well, of course they don't mind because they're robots. They don't have souls.
It's a heart Eggman doesn't have.
I don't know, Shiroi. He
Shiro,
seems
we're
to.
not
He's a
operating
complicated
on
guy.
Kingdom Hearts logic where they separate heart and soul.
No, I'm also referring to one particular team from SAT-AM.
Well, that's at AM.
Also, you can tell. Oh, no, hold on, joke aborted.
I wish I was watching
I don't
Shazam
know,
right now.
this is some quote gritty shit, so.
Alright, let me try that.
I wonder
Also, of course Eggman doesn't have a soul. He has red mustache, therefore he's a ginger.
I wonder what channel Sonic AM was broadcast on initially here in the UK. Oh, it actually did. I was wondering whether Sonic had a what channel Sonic ran here in the UK.
Yeah, do you mean SAT-AM and AOSTC, whatever?
Yeah, apparently it ran on a channel around here called MCD from 94 to 96, but
It ran on one called Pop as well. At some point in the
Are we
2000s.
done bidding
Pop.
mooks?
Yeah, I remember Pop actually.
Hey.
Pop's still
Good.
going on.
Is it?
Yeah. You face your fears and overcome the test. You prove yourself worthy of the royal fam. The route is open. Get to your castle. Whatever.
In Ocarina of Time, all I had to do was go through a little tomb and got the Song of the Sun, not beat up mooks. I mean...
Also, remember how they said that the pillars would light up? Yeah, by that I guess it means that they now have color to them, because they don't really look lit up.
Okay.
Can we finally proceed?
Yes, we can.
Now, so now that the 3 pillars have been quote-unquote lit up, what will be the path that is revealed this time?
I'll give them credit that at the very least, they don't. Since Blaze is already here with us, there's no excuse of Tails could have
Bye,
this here.
Blaze.
Don't worry, Tail. Remember, Sonic partner logic. She'll just respawn. Alright, time for Kingdom Valley. And once again, it's another perfect example of how stupid Silver is.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I decided to skip it because we already said it. But like I said in the previous time we saw that cutscene, so Sonic is in no way worried that the guy who tried to kill him twice is now suddenly in front of him and just and he's not even and he just immediately trusts him. It's not like this could be some kind of trap or something.
I should have realized Eggman's scheme.
I guess
you don't even know who Eggman is! How would you realize a scheme if you don't know who he is?
Pedro. At this point, we've established that he knows who Eggman is.
I'm sorry, Jova. I just can't swallow that one. I'm sorry.
He's been to Eggman's base. He's heard about Eggman at this point from people in Soliana. I mean, even in main stuff. Like, remember how he had to protect what's her name from Eggman's bots because she knows the secret. She even does mention Eggman at this point.
Why did you reconstruct the stairs if you still walked on the side?
That's because those stairs are very unwieldy and sometimes you'll fall through them.
Of course. Oh, wow.
So I always recommend going through the side.
As for Sonic, not suspecting that Silver might be leading him into a trap, that doesn't fit Silver's MMO, considering how, well, every time Silver's come across him, he's just tried to downright kill him right there and then.
Alright, so the gimmick of Silver's Kingdom Valley is that you're supposed to use your psychokinesis to use these pendulums to throw down these towers. So yeah, let's destroy this old architecture.
Yeah. Fuck your architecture, I'm Silver.
Apparently it was very old architecture because that pillar just vanished.
The gravity in this world works very differently than how it was. Again, realism.
I guess we could assume it's really old ruins. My beef is that they just vanish after falling down. Not to mention the fact that it's also the way you hit them, it doesn't look natural. Like, I could buy them being bowled over with enough force, but the way they fall over doesn't look natural.
Not really. All you have to do is give them a slight tap, and they'll just fall like they've just been hit by a bowling ball with full force.
I don't know if we've addressed this question yet, but would this game have turned out any better if it was released with everything that Sonic Team had in mind before the game was rushed out the door?
No.
Well, considering how that would have meant that they had more time to actually properly bug test the game, objectively speaking, yes.
Well,
that does not confirm whether or not it would have been good.
I'd say it would have probably turned out to be like forces.
Yeah, most likely. Basically, the thing
we have no way of knowing. I mean, I'll say it like this. I mean, I just put it like this. We don't even see the full project here in mind. Now, I will say this though. People saying that if just the glitches were gone, no, sorry.
No, not really. Yeah.
Even if the glitches were gone, this game would still have all the stupid nuanced side quest doing and the pacing. Now, if the game had actually, gotten its full development track, maybe it might have been better. Maybe it wouldn't have been rushed with the most sense in mind.
The big problem...
We'll never know.
Yeah, the big problem is that this game wasn't just flawed by lack of polish, it was flawed by design alone as well. Like, this game was incredibly flawed from the concept stage. Like, the whole idea of putting Sonic in a super-duper realistic world, as Clement put it, is just a terrible idea in general.
Like, and it's been done better already anyway, even the adventure games.
Yeah, like Jova said, despite being not as cartoonish as, say, in Unleashed, the NPCs in Adventure 1 were still fairly stylized. They weren't, like, super-duper realistic. But this
like
one...
I say, go on.
But this one went for full-blown realism, and like I said, I think Johnny put it best in his review. What kind of world has anthropomorphic cats and realistic dogs?
And cats.
And real cats.
I mean, we got ants and pigeon out of it, but I don't know. I don't know if that's a fair enough trade-off.
I think that was also an issue. I mean, I'm all for that sort of stuff when it's done the right way, like, actually remembering to still have cartoony elements. It's like, again, same as you about Shadow the Hedgehog, that game...
Fuck
I think that was just waiting for
It was.
Pedro, swearing at the game won't make it behave.
I guess I have to give Regiment.
It helps with my blood pressure, though.
I can just imagine...
No, it doesn't. It makes it worse.
Dweebs, just lead it be.
You both have good points, but settle down.
It's either this or a vein bursting in my forehead. Pick one.
At least you can go to the hospital and have your vein repaired.
My vein repaired.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't
lovely discussion. Now back to talking about.
I wasn't aware that I was an android.
I'll ask the one with the most medical experience. Tio, can you have your vein?
Dwebs, let's just move on. What was your question, Tio?
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that and Jova, continue. Sorry.
Right. As I was saying, though, the problem with this game at hand is like, well, there were a lot of good ideas. Like, more people were supposed to have their stories. Again, the best way to describe this is that this feels like what would have happened if Adventure did not get the time and loving care that it had.
I call bullshit.
Okay,
Momentum, physics, what the fuck is that shit?
That was just stupid. But
it's really sad when you think about the fact that when people say that this game would be improved by fixing all the glitches, what they're actually saying is this game would be fixed by doing the bare fucking minimum.
Like, again, I put it like this. Look, I do not support the notion that this game about glitches would be a better game. Hell, if anything, it would be a less fun game. But honestly,
because it would be all the exploits and everything.
The only way to really quote-unquote save Sonic 06, and I've discussed this plenty of times on SSMB, because there's been plenty of guys, like a certain guy called Johnny something, like I think Joe even witnessed that discussion I had, where, again, I've said various times, the only way to quote-unquote fix Sonic 06 is to throw everything out and start everything from scratch, which means that the game would be so different from what we have here that it wouldn't even be Sonic 06 anymore. There's no way to actually fix Sonic 06. In order to quote-unquote fix it, you have to basically turn it into something it's not.
I mean, a lot of people don't seem to realize that the product we have is, again, this is essentially an unfinished version that they had to rely on because what they were actually working on was not stable enough for release. So essentially,
it was incompletable.
So essentially, folks, you're asking them to fix the project that was not even supposed to be what we were supposed to get in the first place. Now, here's my stance. I would like to see what game they actually had in mind, and by that I mean the actual full, complete game, with its content actually given the proper time and care, with its level design given the proper scrutiny that I'd expect from Sonic Team at the time.
Actually, Java,
just actually be there.
That's actually a good segue for us to finally bring that up. Okay. Fun fact about the development of this game too. This game originally was being helmed by Yojiro Ogawa, whose primary credit at Sonic Team was being the director of Secret Rings. He was supposed to be the director of the Sonic 06 project, However, what happened is when the Wii came out and he realized that there was no way we could have possibly port Sonic 06 to the Wii because
he created the secret rings.
There's more to that story though too. See, the thing is, what he did was originally he split the development team of 06 in two. One that would keep working on this version of the game and one that would work on the Wii port. Basically, a complete reconstruction of this game on the Wii. Here's the problem.
Somehow the Wii port turned into an on-the-rails platformer game that, don't get me wrong, was better than this game, but really did not need to be on the rails.
Basically, Yojiro Ogawa would handle the Wii port of this, whereas Shun Nakamura, who is of course the director and lead game designer of this version that we're playing right now, would be handling the HD version. Okay, so you've split the team in two for an unnecessary Wii version, so that's already the first sign that something is probably a bad idea here. Here's the thing. Later on, eventually Yoshiro Ogawa basically gave up on making a Wii version of this and decided to just make his own original game, which would become Secret Rings.
It's like he secretly knew what a train wreck this game was going to be.
So basically, Teo, mid-development, this game completely lost its original developer. Its original director. Its original director. Its original director.
Goody.
And that means, Teo, that now this project was cut in half development team-wise. But that's not what the story ends, believe it or not, too. Later, when
changing director mid-through, it's not necessarily a bad thing on its own.
It's not, Teo, but it would be, Teo, but the story doesn't end here.
Yep.
What happened, Teo, is Yuji Naka left Sega, as you know, right? And when he left Sega, he brought half of the already cut-in-half development team with him to found Probe.
For context sake, at this time, Yuji Naka was actually supposed to be the one helming Sonic 06 as a whole.
Yeah, remember, Teo, all while this buffoonery and complete horrible management was going on, he was the producer. He was the one supposed, to keep things in order, and yet he did jack shit.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Yuji Naka is a great game developer, but folks, he is not the best team leader. Like, Prope did not exactly do that well.
Yeah.
And he's not exactly running Prope anymore. He's now at Square Enix. And don't even get me started on his ego. Apparently, there's some info to suggest that Yuji Naka is the one behind the botched up localization of Sonic Adventure 2. Not that it's a bad localization in dub, but you know how the characters say a lot of random Japanese stuff? And I don't mean like the Sayonara stuff. I mean like Sonic saying Terry Hour, Eggman just saying Yo Shore, all that weird gibberish. Yeah,
Jojo, that would imply
way of
actually
thinking
hear what the characters are saying.
Just to bring this back to 06,
back to 06 though, Yuji Naka was originally in charge of the project. Although he had a scuffle with Sega. He had kind of had a few fallings out with them, especially when they dared to try and use Sonic Extreme.
Yeah, Yuji Naka was
he's always been falling out.
Yuji Naka is known for being really egocentric, and like the very moment someone dares to say anything against what he's doing, he immediately throws a fit and leaves.
This is one of the reasons why, out of the Sonic Adventure devs, I definitely prefer Izuka over.
Izuka. Don't get me wrong. Izuka has his own problems. Don't get me wrong, but at the very least, he's not a fucking, a pain to work with. At least.
Not to mention, he's actually admitted to his flaws, worked better from them, and we have him to thank for some of the kookier and crazier things in Sonic Mania. Whereas with Yuji Naka went on to do. God, I forget the name of that game.
Ivy the Kiwi. Oh, Jova, what about that so memorable game, Ivy the Kiwi?
Wait, he made another game before Radiant?
Primary, aside from Radiant the Sky Soldier, the other game he made at Probe was Ivy the Kiwi.
Wait, we're playing as Sonic?
Well, yeah, of course.
Remember,
Sonic and Silver.
They're working together now, remember? Anyway.
And let me tell you, playing as Sonic now just makes you realize what you miss after playing Silver for so long.
Yeah, I assure you there. So yeah, Teo, as a result, the development team was now cut in a fourth of its original size. As you can probably guess, this is basically a recipe for disaster. Because, as a result, Shun Nakamura went to Sega executives and pleaded for a delay on the game so they could properly reform and rethink shit.
Was too late.
So, however, Sega wasn't willing to delay the game. So, Teo, question. What does the development team do when they're reduced to a fourth of their size? They've got no time to implement even half of what they originally promised, and they have got a deadline coming. What do you do?
They run around screaming in circles.
hire a bunch of Chinese slaves to do the work in no time.
That's all for playing as Sonic in this level.
Teo, and that also works, Teo, but the primary answer is you start cutting content. Basically anything that you cannot even possibly hope to finish on time, you start cutting out. So off went the day and night cycle. Off went a lot of stuff that
will show up in Unleashed instead.
Yeah. So basically, Teo, this is the primary reason why this game sucks so much. It's horrible management from both from not just the executives at Sega, even the fucking developers themselves acted like complete buffoons about how they worked on this game.
So I think all of them were properly fired afterward.
Yojiro Ogawa, from what I can tell, doesn't even work at Sega anymore. I don't know where he is. Shun Nakamura is the producer of Sonic Forces, so he's still working at Sega somehow. I don't even know how.
To give Nakamura credit, don't get me wrong. I mean, Nakamura is credited as the lead writer for this game, even though
actually, Jova, allow me to correct you there,
Jova.
He's credited in the credits. He only shows up as director and lead game designer. The writers were Shigeru Maekawa, aka the writer of the adventure games, and Kiyoshi Yoshimura, aka the writer of Sonic Unleashed.
Well, Pedro, that's how it is in the game's credits, but, you know, in stuff with outside sources that people were able to tell, he was kind of a ghostwriter, but that's why I corrected myself. But yeah, Nakamura gets a lot of blame for this game in its current state. And don't get me wrong, Nakamura did have issues. But one thing people don't realize is like, well, Nakamura is closer to being the hero of the story than the villain. Don't get me wrong.
The real villain was Yuji Naka. And Yoshiro Ogawa. See, let's cut out. Okay. I'm going to completely abandon the project that I started and just let the other half of the team work on this project, which is completely out of their league.
That's very unprofessional.
Not to mention, they're developing for a system which is developing something for the first time on a system they're not entirely familiar with.
Yeah.
It was their first 360 game.
See, and this is basically the primary reason why a lot of Sonic games ended up sucking, because the people, not just the management on top, but the developers themselves are incompetent dipshits.
Well, they were mainly that for 06, and later ones it was them getting run into the ground. Basically, though, there was a lot of restructuring that needed to be done. But yeah, this is one reason why I'm not one of those people who says, oh, Yuji Naka needs to come back and bring the series back to its former glory. It's like, guys, Yuji Naka was the trigger of this game. Like, you know, the development problems all started when he left the project mid-development as head honcho without, at the very least, getting a proper replacement for his position. Worse, he even took some of the staff with him, which just seems downright petty. And what was the end result? Probe is still going, but not with him as the head, and Probe wasn't exactly setting the world on fire either.
And as a final nail in the coffin to this tragic story tale, because of this game's massive critical and commercial, well, actually technically it was commercially successful, but of course but of course it was a gigantic massive drop for Sega's reputation as a company and Sonic team and it destroyed the reputation of the Sonic franchise. So as a result, a lot of developers were fired for things that they weren't even at fault of. Some of them kept their jobs. I mean, for example, Hiroshi Miyamoto, who was one of the game designers of this game, he remained at Sonic Team and was later the director of Sonic Generations. And now, for some reason, Sega decided they would... That's another interesting thing. I know this is technical off topic, but don't worry, I'll be quick. Guess what, too? Hiroshi Miyamoto, the director of Sonic Generations, the best 3D Sonic game in years, and still it's still the best one out there to play on modern consoles. Guess what his prize was for making that? He got assigned the Mario and Sonic Olympics series. That's where he's stuck at right now. And that's why Generations, and that's why there was a massive drop in quality from Generations to Forces.
And how are they even still making those games anymore?
No, apparently not.
Which begs the question: what exactly is Hiroshi Miyamoto doing now? Please, someone tell me he's in charge of the next Sonic game, please.
It took a while. Oh, Go on.
Go on, though.
No, I was thinking that it may be helping Sumo Digital with a new racing game, but I don't know. It seems alright.
That's
Ah,
separate
yeah.
from Sonic Team. I
Anyway,
don't think so.
thankfully, though, years later, Iizuka managed to salvage the series' reputation with a massive restructuring, basically sending people to do certain jobs here and there. You know, back when they were allowing the proper freedoms here and there. He'd recently done Night's Journey into Dreams, and then he was appointed head of Sonic Team of America. And basically, under him, we saw the better titles like Sonic Colors, which got the stuff back on track.
Well, question,
And then later,
Jova. Do we know if he was the one who assigned Miyamoto to the Mario and Sonic games?
well, we don't know that. What we do know is that under him, though, Colors and Generations were put into motion, though.
Sure. But let's face it, like, we really need Miyamoto, and not that Miyamoto, Hiroshi Miyamoto. We need Miyamoto and this level design team for Generations back. We desperately need those people back. Please.
The problem is that after Sonic got his reputation back, again, Sega of Japan decided, oh, well, we gotta show Sega of America how it's properly done with Sonic Forces.
How did that work out for you?
Let's see, Sonic Mania was more popular and showed up Forces, and even though I like Forces, again, really, Sega of Japan, you need to give it a break. Like, just let Iizuka actually do his thing. In fact, you know what?
Can we just let Iizuka make the Nights free? Can we let Iizuka make the Nights free he actually wants to make? He was he not really Dwebs. He was involved with Mania. Like the producer of Forces was Nakamura. But at this point, Dwebs Iizuka is working at Sega of America, whereas Nakamura took over as the new producer of Sonic Team, basically.
Mm-hmm.
All right then.
Interesting turn of events.
See you for
all
the
right.
next
I hope you enjoyed this history lesson on why Sonic 06 sucks. So tune in next time. Tune in. Well, Dwebs, surprisingly, Dwebs, there's a lot of people out there who don't know this information. I'm guessing Theo didn't.
Partially.
So it served that as a nice way to talk over this incredibly long Kingdom Valley level. So see you for the next part, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.
So, yeah.